have her report.
It should be in there.
You go back up to the top.
1 second. I'll go back out and check.
Sure. Just a minute, Ms. Sorensen. I have to look it up, and it's always kind of confusing when I have to look at everything at once.
You're good.
Okay, she's in there now. If I'm not sure if you can refresh,
Okay.
that arrow, click on that.
Or did you just send an email to me, or you just refresh on my documents? Yeah, let me try the refresh.
On your, in your
X
file.
out and start over again.
Oh, okay. She was rescheduled from another court night.
Oh.
So
Okay.
she should be in there now.
She wasn't in my report, so I wonder if that, because when I uploaded everything, if it just stays that way.
Oh, I see. Is she there now?
Hang on. Let me see. Oh, okay. Ms. Sorensen, why don't you tell me your address?
My address is 400 South Monroe Street.
And that's in Stoughton?
Yes.
Okay. You received a citation for operating without a valid driver's license.
Yes.
Now, the forfeiture range on this is 30 to, actually, let me check on that. Normally, do you have the citation in front of you?
I do not, but
Okay.
I can quickly contact my mom to see.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about that. What happens is normally there's a range on these citations, but there's a bond amount for them. So
Okay.
for no driver's license for operating without a valid driver's license, there's a specific statute for that, and there's a forfeiture range on that. Let me check quick. The forfeiture range on this is usually it's $30 to $100. So normally the forfeiture for these is $124. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's $50 plus cost, essentially what that is. Now I can go up to $100 plus cost, which would be a forfeiture of $187, or I can keep it the same. You're already pretty close to the minimum. Do you understand what operating without a valid driver's license is?
Driving a vehicle without having any type of driver's license, or yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly the element on a highway within the state of Wisconsin.
Okay.
So, okay. So tonight we usually, this is, so do you understand the nature of the citation? You know what it's about?
I'm not for sure. If you could explain it, that would be great. I think like it was for driving without the license.
Correct. I've told you about the forfeiture amounts. I've told you about the forfeiture, and it's 3 demerit points issued your driver's license. Normally, you don't have one, but if you ever were to apply it, they would apply these 3 points retroactively, so to speak. They would add to it when you were able to get a driver's license if you don't have one. So that's what operating without a valid license is. So we take pleas tonight. Your 3 plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty. Not guilty means you are accepting of the forfeiture, you understand what it's about, and then I find you guilty then and impose an appropriate forfeiture. No contest means that what basically no contest means is that you're not admitting guilt, but you want to get it over with tonight. You're willing to accept the penalties and the points as well. And I review the police report, and if it's valid, then I assign a forfeiture. Not guilty plea means that you don't believe the city could prove their case, or that you're not sure and you want to talk to a prosecutor. We enter not guilty plea. If you enter not guilty plea, I schedule the matter for a pretrial conference with the city attorney. Now, you indicated that you're not quite sure. Are you in the process of getting your license back?
Yeah, I'm in the process of getting my license. I'm
Okay.
in the classes.
Okay, so it's going to take you a little bit to get your driver's license.
Yes.
What I would suggest is that you enter a not guilty plea.
Okay.
That way we can schedule the matter for a pretrial conference with the city attorney. And we'll send out a notice to your address about, we do this, the pretrial conferences also by Zoom. That way, what will happen is that way you can meet with the prosecutor and explain your predicament with your license. And the prosecutor if you can reach a deal, then you can reach a deal with that. How far along are you in your classes?
I think I am on week 11.
Okay. How many weeks to go?
A week ago, maybe a little bit more than a week.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, if it's okay, I think the best solution would be enter a not guilty plea, schedule a pretrial conference with the city attorney in about a month. That way you can complete your classes and hopefully have a driver's license by then.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, and I do have my mother here right now.
Okay. Do you want to consult with her? But that would be my suggestion, is that if you're almost going to get a license, then I can't make a deal on this citation or reduce it or I can raise or lower the forfeiture, and that's about it. But if you have a valid license, I'm sure the prosecutor would want to hear that news.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
if he's suggesting you should plead
Plead-
guilty.
Okay.
No, not guilty.
Oh, not guilty, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay, plead not guilty.
I would like to plead not guilty then.
Okay, we'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and then we'll send out notice to both you and the prosecutor about when the pretrial conference will be. Now, make sure that you appear at the pretrial conference, because if you don't appear, the prosecutor will tell me that you didn't appear, and I'll find you default, and I'll find you guilty of that citation. So make sure that you appear, explain that you're in the classes, and that the classes, hopefully you have them completed by the time this pretrial conference arrives.
Okay, and then would we when would the date be on that, or would we like schedule a certain date?
We'll send you a notice when that will be, but they're held by telephone, so you really are appearing by phone. So, but we'll send you a notice.
Okay.
And we'll send it to your address that you gave before, and that's still a valid address, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, good. Yep, so pay attention to look for the mail, look for the notice. If you don't get one within a week or two, just call the number that you used before. Call my clerk, Mary, and then she'll be able to talk to you, and then and make sure that you get that notice.
Okay, and I will be out of town from the 19th until the 28th
Of what month?
of this month.
Of March, okay. We'll make sure that we schedule that pre-trial conference in April.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else?
I do not think so.
Okay, well, so we'll enter that, we've entered that not guilty plea. We'll send out that notice, look for the mail, and then make sure that you call the prosecutor at the date and time scheduled. Otherwise, I could find you guilty and you want to avoid that.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
with any questions for me?
I don't
Any
think
questions?
I do not think so.
Okay, does your mom have any questions for me?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. I think that works, and if you have any questions, you've got the clerk's number, but just pay attention to the mail and appear at the pretrial conference, and hopefully you have your license back then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna go ahead and terminate the call.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Actually, I can't. You can do that. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna show up or not. So do you want to, and that's it? That's it for initial appearances?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Let's go through the rest of the pretrial conferences. Well, they're getting more and more, so almost back
Yeah,
to
it
full
usually
strength.
starts picking up.
Okay, Evangelina, let me say that right. Evangelina Alonso de Munoz, a bond forfeiture. Joey Anderson is a bond forfeiture. Tammy Anderson is a default judgment. Beth Andre is a bond forfeiture. Jacob Apple, and all, just for the record, all bond forfeitures are under no contest plea and are found guilty. Jacob Apple is a default judgment, and all default judgments are found guilty by the non-appearance and impose the face amount of the citation. All right, Braisley Arenas, bond forfeiture. Tiffany Amundson, bond forfeiture. Ramar Matthew Barnes is a default judgment on both citations. Philip Bauska is a default judgment. William Bowens is a default judgment. Dartavian Brooks is a default judgment. Michael Cady is a default judgment on both citations. Axel Cardoso Martinez is a bond forfeiture. Clinton Clemens is a bond forfeiture on all 3 citations. Janelle Coleman is a default judgment on both citations. Joseph Conant is a default judgment. Steve Chrisman is a default judgment. Tyler James Damon is a bond forfeiture. Sawyer Danforth is a bond forfeiture. Nathaniel Dean is a default judgment. Latoya Dorenzo is a default judgment on all 3 citations. Dawson Dunn is a bond forfeiture. Rosanna Duran is a default judgment. Any restitution issues? You know what?
I haven't been checking because you're not calling that.
Yep, I will hold open all the restitution cases and
Right.
allow the merchants, if necessary, to file it when we actually have court again. Or we can do it by virtual as well. Cale Drierson is a default judgment. Thomas Drierson is a default judgment on both citations. Michael Edwards is a bond forfeiture. Tyler Farrow is a bond forfeiture. David Festke.
And he actually called this afternoon and is doing not guilty, so
Okay.
he crossed him off.
We'll do a not guilty plea for Mr. Feskey. Okay, Fija, I don't know how to say this name. Fija Kilowitz is a bond forfeiture. Serena Flores, excuse me, is a default judgment on both citations. Kyle Freeman is a bond forfeiture. Andrew Gibbs is a default judgment on both citations. Joshua Giebner is a default judgment. Lorianne Nietzsche is a default judgment. Alex Hahn is a default judgment on both citations. Arlene Halsey is a default, bond forfeiture. Matthew Hamaker is a bond forfeiture. Savannah Heisig is a bond forfeiture. Aaron Henderson is a default judgment.
Called this afternoon and entered a not guilty plea. So
We'll enter the not guilty pleas for Miss Henderson on both citations. Next is Robert Hills. See in my notes, sidewalk snow removal pursuant to the motion for the city. That citation is dismissed. Daniel Hoffman is a default judgment. Jeffrey Holman is a default judgment. Lacey Hoiberg, yes.
he sent also today. I give these people until the 16th, but they get the mail, I think, is late. So we got her plea sheet, and I contacted her. She has reinstated her license the registration the next day. And I was able to copy a picture and put it in your file there. So it's under registration and her name.
Let me take a look. So we'll hold
Okay.
off on that for now. Let me
Okay.
open up my file. Let me get
It's
through the pages.
separate.
emails that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. All right. Oh, and then, you know what? Lily Sorensen did appear now.
Oh, good.
Take a look at that. So just a little late. I was right with the 124. Okay, let me go in and, oh, hang on, cancel. Oh, I went in the wrong one, sorry. There she is. Oh, very good. On my computer, I can't open those. So, okay, she updated it. Looks like she, okay, since she updated her registration and did so on a timely basis, the court on its own motion will move to dismiss this expired registration citation. All right. Now, you go back into your email. That's where I was before.
Oh,
So that was Lacey Hoiberg.
right.
So the next one will be David Jackson, bond
The one-
forfeiture. I'm sorry.
There's one that's been added. It's a Tyler Horton retail theft.
Okay.
And was
Tyler
added-
Horton, default judgments,
Okay,
hold open the issue of restitution. David Jackson is a bond forfeiture. Hester Jackson is a bond forfeiture. Anne Marie Jones is a default judgment. Anne Marie Jones, we received a guilty plea from the defendant, so accept the guilty plea and find the defendant guilty. Pose the face amount of citation. Abraham Carlist, default judgment on both citations. Troy Keltner, default judgment on both citations. Jason Klingbeil, default judgments. Roger Krieger, default judgment. Christina Lassa, bond forfeiture. Amanda Longley, default judgment on both citations. Seth Lisney, bond forfeiture. Angel Maciel is a default judgment. Nicholas Maurer is a default judgment. Corey Meyer is a default judgment. Araceli Morales Lopez is a default judgment on both citations.
it's actually a bond forfeiture. That's
Oh.
another one that was added today that they paid today.
You were busy today.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little stressed today, but yes.
All right, bond forfeiture for those two citations then. Dylan Mowbray is a default judgment. Sheila Neuenschwander is a bond forfeiture. Michael O'Connor is a default judgment. Maxim Yaroslav Parker is a default judgment on both citations. Bonnie Pavlich is a default judgment. Jordan Pikulik is a default judgment. Dale Gregory Reish is a default judgment.
City is requesting that one to be dismissed.
Oh, city's requesting that to be dismissed? Okay, on the
Right.
motion, the city, instead of will erase the default judgments based upon the motion of the city, the court will dismiss that citation.
And the next one has a plea sheet. Anna
thank you.
Rogers, she paid it, but she has a message on there. She's looking for point reduction,
All right.
but she
So,
didn't pay.
but you what?
She paid the
right.
citation. So.
Okay. And that was that was the initial appearance reports. What was her name again? What's that?
Rogers,
There it
Anna.
is. First plea sheet, okay. Oh, this was an accident? Here's what we're gonna do for this. She's asking for points. We're gonna enter a not guilty plea and have her meet with the prosecutor. If she does not, then we'll assume that she didn't want a reduction in points, but if she does, I'll let the
What she's requesting on her plea sheet. If you see the second page.
no, I didn't.
Okay.
I don't have a second page. What is she requesting?
She paid it. All she's requesting is if the points could be.
Yeah, I can't do that on this type of citation. So enter not guilty plea on the nature of the citation.
Are you sure you have the right one? Because it's
No.
a speeding ticket.
Oh, this is Anna Rogers.
Correct, yeah. Sorry, that's why. Oh, confused.
Hang on a second. Let me
Okay.
step out of that. She talked about getting in an accident. That's why I thought that.
Oh,
All right. Hang on a second. Where was I? Oh, right where I was before. Sorry. So she paid it. Okay, she's 20 over. I'll reduce it to 19 over, which is 4 points instead of 6.
all right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
for your patience. All right. All right. And that
All
was
right.
Miss Rogers. Alex Rosman, excuse me, bond forfeiture. Joseph Stederlin, just a no contest plea.
Right, there was no request.
Accept the no contest plea, find the defendant guilty, and impose the face amount of the citation. Shauna Sharp, default judgment. Jennifer Slemensky, default judgment of both citations. Skylar Sarzinski is a default judgment on both citations. Wyatt Sveum is a default judgment of both citations.
He's actually, there's another one from today. He's
Oh, why, Mr. Sveum?
Yeah, no contest, but there is a plea sheet for you to see.
Okay. Let me take a look at that plea sheet. Yep, I saw that one there. Oh, there's one more as well.
Right.
Wyatt Sveum. Schedule that matter for, we'll switch it to a not guilty plea and have a meet with the prosecutor.
Okay.
The plea form, I'm treating that as kind of a not guilty plea, basically.
Okay.
When they say enter no contest or guilty plea, but tell me why they need to have one citation reduced or dismissed, and it's kind of the same thing. So, okay.
Okay.
All right. James Swenson is a bond forfeiture. When's the next plea sheet?
Vander something.
Okay.
Vander
Not quite there yet. Emma Geisela Tinoco Bosling is a default judgment.
actually paid it today also.
Oh, bond forfeiture then. Okay, let me go back to another page here. All right. Yep, here it is. Howard Vander Zanden.
Right.
Let me take a look at the plea sheet here. Enter the guilty plea.
But he did include the insurance card.
All right, and then I'll go back to where I was. Updated his insurance. Oh, since he updated his insurance, the court on its own motion will ignore the guilty plea and find that he obtained proof of insurance and dismiss the citation. Wade Voice, default judgment. Beth Whitehart, bond forfeiture. And Brian Williams, default judgment.
There are two additional items. One is a request to reopen, and then the other is Pleasant Springs pretrial. They basically just reduce the fine for the speeding tickets. So
Is that in my documents?
it is under Pleasant
Dunkirk.
Springs pretrial.
What's that?
Pleasant Springs pretrial or something to that effect.
I only have the Dunkirk pretrial.
Wow, maybe I labeled it wrong.
Oh, is it a motion? Hang on, motion to reopen? Let's do
No.
that one first.
That one, do you have Sarah Boyd?
Yeah, voice.
Yes.
She wants another pretrial. I'll go ahead and grant the motion to reopen.
Okay, all right.
And then the other one I have, it's a Dunkirk pretrial.
Yeah, that's mislabeled. It's Pleasant Springs.
Okay. All right. So I'm
Cos-
kind of, hang on. The
Okay.
office word is fancily opening my article. Okay. Fine
Oh.
reduced, speeding, and okay, the forfeiture reduced to 98.8. I'll go ahead and accept that plea agreement.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and
That's
stamp my
it.
name here. Okay, is that it?
That's it for today.
All right, let me cover everything. Okay, thank
All right.
you. And sign up.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes, I will do that. You too.
All right, I will. So St. Patrick's Day basically means I wear a green shirt and a green tie. No other effect, and eat corned beef sandwiches at night. That's the only effect it has in my life right now.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks, Mary, and I'll talk to you
Yep.
soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.